In this video, let's understand about custom controls. When you are creating your screen elements, there are certain fixed screen elements that you can create on the screen, like input fields, radio buttons, checkbox. However, sometimes you may just want to mark one area on the screen where you can show different things, like a picture or a tree structure, something like this that you see here. If this is a tree structure, a structure like this, or a text editor, or even an ALV grid. So you can do that by using something called controller framework. SAP has introduced this custom controls which are actually handled by your SAP GUI. So in your SAP GUI there is a ActiveX framework that actually allows you to define one container on your screen, and on that container you can load any of these custom controls. So there are different controls like picture control, tree control, text control, ALV grid control. So you can load any of these controllers on a container that you define on the screen. So on the screen you just define one container, and in that container you can load any of these custom controllers. So let's see how to do this. On the main screen, I'll use this custom control. So select this custom control and drag it and drop it in the area. So you mark one area on the screen as a container, and in this container we can load any of those custom controllers. So give some name for your container, let's say custom. And in the PBO module of this screen, I can load any controller in that container. So for example, I'll use one text controller to show you how it works. So I'll say module load control. So you have to handle this in PBO. There are few things you need to know. You can get the reference to a container by using one class called CLGUI custom container. So we have to create one reference object for that. So I'll say data, let's say container type reference to CLGUI custom container. So using this we'll get the reference to our container on the screen, and then you can use any controller. So there are different controllers like picture control, tree control, text control. Type reference to CLGUI text edit. So this is a text control. Like that, CLGUI picture control is there, CLGUI ALV grid control is there. So like that, there are different controls available. To this, if you look at the CLGUI text edit controller class, there is a method. Using this different getter and setter methods, you can control various things like you can control the height of your editor, width of your editor, etc. And one of the methods I'll be using is set text as stream. So using this I can pass some text and it will be displayed in that text editor. And this has one parameter text which is a standard table. That means it just has one field called line, and in that line you can pass your text. And if you look at this custom container, they have a constructor. So when we are instantiating this container, we have to pass all are optional except this container name. So we have to pass the name of the container that you have defined on your screen, and it will get me reference to that container. And once I do that, when I'm calling this custom control, when I instantiate this, I'll pass that container object to this. So if you look at this one, this also has a constructor, and you can pass different things. Among them, one is mandatory, which is the parent, to which we have to pass the reference to our container. So I'll do this, and I'll also define one internal table to pass the text. So I'll say lines type standard table of line. So this is a single field with 255 characters, and line type line. So I'll use this as a work area. Now in this module, first I'll say create object, my container. It has one parameter. When you are instantiating, the constructor has a one mandatory importing parameter. I'll say exporting container name equals to, we have given the name as custom for our container on the screen. So I'll pass this. If you don't remember these parameters that should be passed for the constructor while instantiating, I can also make this way. I can use the pattern button and select ABAP object patterns. Select this create object. Here you give the instance name, which is container, and class is CLGUI custom container. So it will give you the parameters. Out of this, all are optional. This is the mandatory parameter. So to this I'll pass my container name. So this container should exist on the screen in which you are writing this code. So I'm writing this code in the PBO of 100, screen 100, and this custom container is defined with the name custom on this particular screen. So you should be writing this code on that screen's PBO. Once I instantiate this container object, then I can instantiate the controller. Again, I'll pass this controller. CLGUI text edit is the class, and to this there is one parent parameter to which I can pass my container object that I just instantiated. So once you instantiate this controller, then you can access this method controller set text as stream, to which you can pass is a parameter text. I'll pass my lines internal table. So before this I need to fill my lines internal table. So I'll say line, the field name, this line structure has one field called line. I'll say this is line 1, append line to lines, my internal table, and I'll append one more line, line 2. So these two lines should appear in that text editor, and this whole code instantiating this object should be done only once. However, when you're processing a screen, each time you make a action on the screen, it will trigger PI and then it will call PBO. So every time this PBO is called, this module will be executed and it tries to instantiate this object again. So we should restrict this so that if container is initial, that means the first time if it is not instantiated yet, it will instantiate it. After that it won't instantiate it. So I can say end if I've just created one container on the screen. I named it custom, and then in my program I've created one reference object container by referring to CLGUI custom container class, and I've defined one reference object controller. By referring to the controller I want to use, in this case I'm using CLGUI text edit. If you want to show a picture, then you can use CLGUI picture as the class, and then I'm calling one of the methods of this class to pass the text that should be displayed in that text editor. So it has one parameter called line. So I'm defining one internal table and work area for that. So I'm filling my internal table with the lines I want to show, and then I'm passing that by calling this set text as stream. Now if I run my transaction, you can see it is showing me this text controller as an editor where it is displaying me both the lines. Okay, so this is loading in that container which we have defined. So like that you can create one container, and in that container you can load any of these things like text editor or a picture. If you want to show some logo on the screen, then you can load that logo in that container. And we also have this tree controller where you can show tree structure, and we also have this ALV grid. So when we discuss this ALV reports, I'll also be showing you that ALV grid controller, how to use that ALV grid controller to display your report output. Okay, so that's about your containers. So with this we kind of conclude the discussion on this module pool programming. We almost covered most of the stuff, so you can practice. And it is not very frequently that you develop these module pool programs, because when you're working in ABAP, most of your requirements will be based on reports, forms and interfaces. So these are the three developments you'll be doing very frequently. Creating your custom transactions is something you do very rarely. And with SAP now moving towards more web-based applications, companies also slowly are preferring developing these transactions in SAP UI5 instead of using this classic GUI-based transactions. With the same kind of effort that you put to develop this transaction, you can develop a SAP UI5 applications which will be more future-proof, and that can be accessed by any user using a web browser. So you can access it from his desktop, or you can also access it from his mobile devices. So this module pool development has become very less frequent, but again, understanding this was crucial for you to really understand the whole screen processing, how exactly the screen processing is happening. So understanding about this screen events, PBO, PAI, it is crucial for you to understand this standard SAP applications. So whenever you want to enhance any standard SAP application, since all of them are based on module pool programming, you need to know the basics of module pool programming. Otherwise, you won't be able to work on those enhancements. So that way, it is crucial for you to understand. But generally, when you get a new requirement, nowadays companies may prefer developing in SAP UI5 instead of using module pool programming, because that will be more future-proof. That's all about module pool programming. See you in the next section.